We have a major update regarding this upcoming winter storm, and this will impact your weekend plans. Confidence is increasing on significant impacts from this upcoming winter storm, and travel across a large portion of the Midwest and Great Lakes region could be near impossible, as a widespread swath of 6 to 10 inches of snow is expected. Areas like Des Moines, Davenport, Chicago, and Grand Rapids will face the worst of this system, with localized snow totals over a foot being a possibility. On the southern side of the storm system, a fierce clash of two opposing air masses will cause widespread strong to severe thunderstorms across much of the south. So in this forecast, we are going to break down exactly what you need to know about this upcoming winter storm and what impacts it'll bring to your area. And we are going to begin this forecast by jumping right into this upcoming winter storm, as we are expecting a big snowfall event across the Midwest, Ohio Valley, Great Lakes, and even the Northeast. So let's go ahead and begin with the future radar over the next 48 hours, beginning with tonight. That is when snow is going to begin to ramp up across areas like Iowa, Minnesota, and also the Dakotas. There will be a little bit of a mix back over in western Iowa tonight. Might even see a little bit of freezing rain as well, which could make the roadways slippery. I know a lot of you are traveling back from Thanksgiving today. You definitely want to get that done as soon as possible, because by tonight, things are going to start to deteriorate very quickly. By overnight tonight, that is when this storm system is going to expand in size very rapidly. We'll have a low pressure system rapidly organizing over Kansas, which is going to help to promote much heavier snowfall by the overnight hours. So a lot of the snow this afternoon will remain light, but by tonight, it's going to really start to pick up in intensity, especially in northern Missouri and across all of Iowa, and also through South Dakota and Illinois. Now, once we go into Saturday morning, that is when this winter storm is going to intensify even further. Look at the dark blues across eastern Missouri and western Illinois. This is where very heavy snowfall is going to be falling, with snowfall rates up to 3 inches per hour being in play. And then all across Iowa, we are going to continue to see moderate to heavy snowfall all morning long. And this is where I anticipate the most significant snowfall accumulation out of this winter storm. Right around lunchtime, this winter storm will start to produce a lot heavier snowfall across central and northern Illinois and southern Wisconsin. I do think we're going to have some dry air intrusion on the northern side of this low pressure system, especially in central and northern Wisconsin near areas like Wausau back through Minneapolis. And that is going to basically mean we're not going to see a whole lot of accumulative snowfall out of this event. I also want to point out, by around lunchtime, we are going to have a lot more moisture and warm air pushing to the north, which means areas like St. Louis, you guys are going to run out of time pretty quickly when it comes to snowfall. That's only going to last maybe about 6 to 10 hours or so. And then after that, we're going to be mostly just rain, or if anything, just a mixture of rain and snowfall. So not great news if you like snowfall in the St. Louis area. And then by the early afternoon, that heavy snowfall will continue anywhere from Des Moines all the way back through areas in northwestern Indiana, even as far east as South Bend. And then eventually by the evening hours, the heaviest snowfall is going to be located near Chicago, even near Milwaukee, and also across southwestern Michigan near Kalamazoo. And then we'll also be watching for an isolated severe weather event across areas in the very deep south and also in the southern plains, with some isolated damaging winds, isolated hail, and even an isolated tornado or two being a possibility. That'll be primarily during the afternoon hours as well. And another thing I do want to point out about our winter storm here is that the winds will be very strong all across this low pressure system, which does mean blowing snow is a possibility, and we could have wind gusts up to 30 to 40 miles per hour at times, which could even make travel impacts worse throughout the daytime on Saturday. So it's really not advised you travel much on Saturday. We could be talking about moderate to major impacts when it comes to traveling. Now, as we go into Saturday night, the snow is going to continue to move across the Great Lakes in the Midwest. We're really not going to wind down with snowfall until overnight Saturday into early Sunday morning for those in Iowa, Missouri, Illinois, and Wisconsin. A little bit of good news. If you like snow in St. Louis, yes, you'll see a little bit of snow on the backside of this low pressure system, but again, not really talking about much here. It's going to be very light. No more than an inch of additional snowfall would come out of that. And then by Sunday morning, the heaviest snowfall is going to make its way across Lake Erie and Lake Ontario, all across upstate New York and also northwestern Pennsylvania. That's where the heaviest of the snowfall will reside. And then as we go into late Sunday and Monday, this winter storm moves out. And then as we go into Monday and Tuesday, another winter storm is going to take place anywhere from Oklahoma all the way back into New England. We could have more snow, ice, and a lot of other problems on our hand. We're going to talk more about that next winter storm in a second, so stay tuned. We don't just have one coming, we actually have 2 different winter storms coming over the next 5 days. Now, in terms of total snowfall accumulation, this is going to be one of the biggest winter storms that we've seen in the Midwest over the last couple of years. We are talking about a threat of a widespread 6 to 10 inches of snowfall all across Iowa, central northern Illinois, southern Wisconsin, Wisconsin, and also western Michigan. I also want to point out this is the official National Weather Service forecast. These are not made up numbers by any means. We are talking about the legit threat here of widespread 6 to 10 inches of snowfall. I do think all across central eastern Iowa, northwestern Illinois, and extreme southern Wisconsin, we will have 8 to 14 inches of snow. I think a few isolated locations will pick up as much as 18 inches of snowfall. Back over Des Moines, I'm forecasting about 12 to 13 inches. If you're back over Milwaukee, around 10 inches of snow. Chicago will be closer to 8 to 10. And then over in Davenport, Iowa, we're talking closer to about a foot of snow as well. And shifting our attention further to the east, Kalamazoo, Michigan, probably around a foot of snow. Detroit, I'm really thinking probably closer to 5 to 6 inches. And over in Indianapolis, around 3 to 6 inches of snow. But generally speaking, again, this is going to be a big winter storm here across the Midwest over the next couple of days. And guess what? We are planning on a winter storm live stream tomorrow with upwards of a dozen live storm chasers in the field and hundreds of live weather cameras. So make sure you subscribe to the channel and click the bell icon so you're notified when we do go live tomorrow. There's also a chance of a live stream tonight for an update if needed. We'll see if that happens, but at the bare minimum, we are going to be live tomorrow with winter storm coverage, so definitely stay tuned. Also, this is a little bit easier to see. This is a zoomed in view of our snowfall accumulation through Sunday afternoon across the Midwest. Again, most of Michigan is going to pick up upwards of a foot of snow unless you're in far eastern Michigan, and then also across northern Illinois, southern Wisconsin, and pretty much all of Iowa will get upwards of a foot of snowfall out of this winter storm. I also forgot to point out, but if you're in St. Louis, I think around 3 to 4 inches of snow is going to fall. Again, it's going to be pretty slushy since you guys are going to transition into rain later in the day, but at least you'll get a little bit of snowfall during the morning hours. Now, after this winter storm is all said and done, we are going to have another winter storm impacting the United States. So this is what it looks like as we go into Monday morning. Might not look like much at first, but we're going to have a little area of moisture coming over the Rockies. There'll be some light snowfall across the Central Plains. We're also going to have moisture coming out of the Gulf on Monday as well. And then right here is going to be a boundary, essentially. This is where we have two different air masses colliding at once, one of which is a warm air mass, which is mainly across the southeast, and then a cold air mass off to the north. And what's going to happen as we go throughout the day on Monday, this is all going to kind of merge into one storm system, and we are going to see basically a very rapidly intensifying low pressure system by Monday night. Notice by Monday afternoon and evening, the GFS model is showing at least some light to moderate snowfall across the Midwest. This really would not lead to much snowfall accumulation. We're talking an additional 2 to 4, maybe 3 to 6 inches of snow across these areas. And then a little bit of freezing rain and sleet across central and northern Arkansas is a possibility. I'm saying possibility because we don't know for sure if that's going to happen. It's a little too early to tell exactly what is going to happen Monday and Tuesday. This is just a general idea of what we can expect on this time frame. Things could change because of this winter storm that's happening tomorrow. That is why I'm pointing that out. As we go into late Monday night and early Tuesday morning, that snow will start to expand in size, and the storm system is only going to get larger, with heavy snowfall being a possibility from central Indiana back into central Pennsylvania overnight Monday into Tuesday, and then freezing rain, which could lead to ice accumulation across the Appalachian Mountains. And then as we go into Tuesday morning, that snow is going to make its way into the northeast, and this could become a nor'easter if it takes the correct pathing. We could actually have heavy snowfall blanketing the northeast on Tuesday morning, and then by late Tuesday, that is when the heaviest of the snowfall would take place across New England, and that would be primarily across New Hampshire, Maine, Vermont, and also New York. And then late Tuesday into early Wednesday, this storm system moves offshore, and then for the rest of next week, we will continue to have multiple more shots of snow. They'll just be a little bit less large in size compared to these two winter storms that we're talking about over the next 5 days. Now, this is one of the reasons why I am not completely sold on a nor'easter or a big winter storm occurring. This is the GFS model showing a 24-hour span of snowfall across the northeast with that upcoming winter storm on Tuesday. It shows a widespread 12 to 18 inches of snow from central Pennsylvania all the way through Maine, right? Well, look at the European model. This is another pretty accurate model. It's been very accurate in the past. It's not showing that type of snowfall. It's showing the possibility of up to a foot in New England, but notice the widespread gist of this is nowhere near upwards of 12 to 18 inches of snow in a widespread area. So in all essence, I am not fully convinced that we are going to be talking about a major nor'easter next week, but it's definitely on the table. I would say it's about a 40% chance as of right now. Those odds could increase over the next couple days. They could also decrease. Definitely make sure you're subscribed to the channel. We will continue to have daily weather updates regarding this in case there are any major changes to the forecast. Now, if you want accumulating snowfall, you have a very high chance of getting that if you're shaded anywhere in the red. This is a probability of seeing greater than 1 inch of snowfall over the next 7 days or so, and essentially anywhere in the Midwest, Northern Plains, and the Northeast, you are very likely going to see accumulating snowfall. If you're in Texas, Alabama, Georgia, you're gonna have to wait some time until that happens. I have a feeling hoping we'll see something at some point, but definitely not anytime soon. And a huge announcement, we do have a Black Friday sale going on at shopmaxvelocity.net. That's also the top link in the description below. You get $5 off on $50 or more with the code Black Friday on any of our merch, including our cheese curd collection, which just came out. That is my cat. We also have our Happy Holidays collection, in addition to our Supercell merch and a lot of other stuff as well. So make sure to check this out at shopmaxvelocity.net. This is one of the best ways to support what we do here on this channel. Also, we'll likely have another video later today. If not, we'll have a live stream. So stay tuned, and we'll see you all again in the next video or live stream.